Okay, so our first story today, the Sprint Evo 4G gets an official price and date. So the wait, and this is from Android and Me, I should mention as well, where we're getting a lot of our stories these days.
Yes.
At androidandme.com. The wait is finally over. Today, Sprint announced an official price point and release date for the HTC Evo 4G. And that date is June 4th. Users will be able to pick up the Evo for $199.99 after a $100 mail-in rebate, new contract, and premium data buy-up. It'll ship with Android 2.1, but no Flash.
Well, yeah, 2.2. Froyo is full Flash support. First of all, I'm shocked that it didn't, because I totally called that. I was like, it's going to be 2.2.
Yeah, you did.
But I/O still hasn't happened, so maybe they're just trying to like trick us.
So you think there'll be like an update?
If the phone doesn't actually ship with it, I think it'll be within like 2 weeks of the phones. I think
so you think they'll make a big announcement at I/O?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think so.
Well, okay. So the Evo 4G has been one of the hottest phones these days, sporting a 4.3-inch screen, dual cameras, mobile hotspot. Oh, that's awesome for up to 8 users. So now you can do tethering.
It has an overdrive built in.
I can tether my iPad to my Android device.
Yes,
since
you
I can't
can.
do it with my iPhone.
Yes, you can.
That would be awesome.
But there's some pricing stuff.
Okay.
So which is there's been a lot of talk about the cost. Like, were they going to add pricing? Or...
Yep. So the data premium is a $10 mandatory addition to your bill. And the activation of the mobile hotspot, using the Evo's built-in overdrive, will set you back another $29 extra per month.
You know what? Surprised by that, because first of all, I'm a cheapskate.
Yeah.
And secondly, I feel like I had sort of imagined it being, I knew they were going to charge for it, obviously.
Yeah, sure, of course.
But
40 bucks?
40 extra dollars for, well, the $10, everybody thought at first that was optional. Like if you lived in a 4G city, you could activate 4G, but it's not. It's a $10 mandatory just data. Yeah. Like it's basically for all the data your phone is going to pull down. And then on top of that, if you want to do the overdrive, it's another $30 a month. So an extra 40 bucks a month. To be fair, Sprint used to have the everything data plan that was $99.99, which is exactly what this would make it, including the hotspot and all this stuff. But I just still think that overdrive is too expensive.
Yeah,
I would have said $20.
$20
to me was the sweet spot for the overdrive. I don't think, for me, I don't think I'm going to pay for it unless I'm like always on the go.
Yeah.
But some people will easily pay for it because it's an extra, still $99.99 a month for a hotspot for 8 different phones.
Which is pretty awesome.
Yeah, if we had 4G here.
Actually, that's the thing. If you have 8 people sort of sharing that, then that makes a lot more sense.
It's pretty good. Yeah.
So that's not so bad.
Yeah.
Okay, so next big story, HTC sues Apple for patent infringement. So HTC taking the gloves off again.
Yeah.
HTC responded today to Apple lawsuits by filing their own patent infringement claim with the United States International Trade Commission to halt the importation and sale of the iPhone, iPad, and iPod in the United States.
They're fighting back?
Yeah. So the complaint outlines 5 HTC patents infringed by Apple products, but we don't know the specific details on which patents. Which is interesting, because HTC does not have a deep patent portfolio compared to someone like, say, Palm. So, the way these things sort of work is, everyone's always suing everyone for patents, especially in a competitive market like this, right?
Yeah, remember our lovely little chart.
That's right.
It's a mess.
So, HTC is being very aggressive here with a very small patent portfolio. So
tiny. And and I think that I had seen something online where they had sort of examined the patents that they were talking about, and like HTC has sort of put out this this video about they have this little history of HTC, and like what they said, like in 2007, I think it's 2007, we changed the way that you use your fingers to operate a mobile phone and stuff. And I just don't know. It seems kind of...
It seems a little sketch, I have to admit. I hate to say it.
It seems kind of like the patents they have, obviously... I mean, if you look at any kind of chart that shows how many patents HTC holds, then Google holds, then Apple holds...
Yes, Apple's
by far... It's just really, by far...
But what about Palm? Where does Palm sit in this?
Palm holds a lot, now they're owned by HP.
Yeah,
so
true.
They picked up their entire patent portfolio.
That is a huge patent portfolio, though. So.
And that's why Apple hasn't gone after...
Yeah.
That's why Apple hasn't gone after Palm.
They're smart enough to go after Palm.
It would be foolish of them to go after Palm.
So virtually everyone in the mobile industry has patent lawsuits against a competitor.
It's ridiculous.
So not really a surprise. So this whole thing is probably just going to get tied up in court until some sort of settlement is reached.
I wish some judge would just be like, this is completely out of hand.
Yeah.
Like, let it go. Like, and everybody,
But that's never
we're
going to
just
happen.
going to...
That's the way patent lawsuits go.
Yeah, I know. But it's just like, I mean, I wish everybody would just, like,
Play
cooler
nice.
heads would prevail and just say,
well.
you know what, okay, you can use ours if we can use yours. And, like, because there's so... I feel like it curbs innovation.
Yeah.
To be afraid of violating...
I don't think anyone's afraid, though.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no result on the end user. There's no result in terms of, I don't think on innovation. The only result is that money pours out of companies and into lawyers' pockets. That's it.
Yeah.
So, that's it.
Yeah, exactly. A waste of time except for people who make money on this, a.k.a. lawyers.
Yeah, there you go.
Precisely.
All right, so next story. Google Editions to offer 4 million titles at launch. So we knew that Google was planning to launch a bookstore.
I know, we
right?
talked about this last week. I was so sad that you weren't here.
I know,
was like,
that's my
Mark
story.
The author, like,
I know,
he
I saw
needs
that.
to
I
be
watched it
here.
afterwards. I was like, oh my God, that's my story. Why was I not here? So anyway, I'm a big book person, for those of you who don't know. Google is launching their own bookstore, much like Apple's iBooks on the iPad, or Amazon's, just Amazon.com, the Kindle store. So just to the thing that's interesting about this is that Google has managed to, Google's got the largest selection of books, bar none. So just to put it in perspective, iBooks, which is Apple's offering, has 60,000 titles. Amazon for Kindle is at 500,000, and Barnes & Noble now has 1 million ebooks with their new store and new device. I can't remember the name.
Right, the Nook, yeah.
So if Google manages to pull this off, they're going to have 4 million titles.
Well, they're saying that
huge.
they're saying that they, Japan today had mentioned that I guess Google, they reported that allegedly they managed to secure more than 25,000 authors and publishers to participate in this service at launch, when it launches.
Yes.
So,
but how does that number relate to the 4 million? That's why I'm confused.
Well, if you think about publishing houses, they have a litany of different books, different authors, different people. So you're looking at 25,000 authors and publishers who may have
stand up and
a house of novels that can be released under the bookstore.
Got it. Okay.
For Google. So you're looking at through 25,000 publishers and authors, you're getting 4 million different books. Plus, and I think they're in that 4 million, they're counting whatever is not. That the copyright law has actually expired on.
So the public domain.
Yeah, anything in the public domain
that makes sense.
is also fair game in that 4 million.
So basically, now when the Android tablets come out, which they're about to start hitting, and
later this year is going to be
the tablet apocalypse is almost upon us.
The tablet apocalypse, yes.
Which is good. We look forward to the tab apocalypse. And as I've always contended, the purpose of tablets is to read books or watch video, but basically to consume media. So this now puts the Android tablets in an advantage, I would think, over the iPad when this happens. So
well, if they're pulling down, if they even get close to, even if they get 2 million books, newspapers, magazines, that's double the most that Barnes & Noble has.
Yes. Well, to be honest with you, the thing that really sucks about the iPad and the iBooks offering in particular is the lack of selection. I go search for books all the time in there, and there's like big books that aren't in it. And I know you don't have an iPad, so you haven't experienced this. It's just really frustrating. I assume that they're in there, and I can't. Yeah, I'm just like, I can't believe this book isn't in here. It's happened to me like 5 or 6 times. So yeah.
That's why I still go buy them. You know what it is for me? I was telling a friend of mine, I will buy ebooks, when there's some sort of function on the tablet that puffs out like a little smell of like fresh paper, because that's the thing for me. Like I love the smell of like a brand new book.
Right.
Like I'm very 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 my olfactory nerves need that.
Got it.
Like
so
I need my olfactory
you need the full book
senses
experience.
Yeah, I need the book experience. I need to hold it and. Oh, it would just be so great.
I don't think there's an app for that.
No, there's not. No, there's no app for that. And, no pricing yet on the cost of the books or even how they're going to distribute it. Because right now, for those informed know this, but like for those uninformed, Android doesn't have a platform like iTunes to release books like this on. So I'm thinking maybe at Google I/O we may hear something about like a new
Google's obviously going to have to come up with something very much like iTunes or the Amazon bookstore.
I'm hoping that they come up with something like that because Amazon and Barnes & Noble, the two biggest, already are locked.
Yeah.
They've got their own thing going on. Now they could partner with somebody, but I don't see Google doing that. Google goes for it.
Yeah.
When they swing for the fence.
Well, remains to be seen.
Yep.
Okay, so next story, the top 3 carriers reject Google's phone store. No Nexus 1 for Sprint.
There's an additional story to this, too, but go ahead.
Is there? Okay. So, in a surprise move, Sprint has reversed their earlier plans to carry Google's Nexus 1. Gizmodo is citing the upcoming release of the HTC Evo 4G as the reason, But the story here at Android and Me says, let's just call it what it is. The three biggest carriers in the United States, being Verizon, AT&T, and Sprint, have all rejected Google's approach to selling phones directly to consumers, which is, you don't go into a store, you have to basically order it online, which is, that's crazy.
And we've talked about this. I like to hold a phone. I like to play with it. I want to see what it does, how it feels in my hand.
I think that experiment's been run, and everyone agrees it's a failure. So anyway, so all the parties involved are probably going to play it cool and say nice things, but really, they're just not into it. The carriers are not ready to give up the sale of a phone that operates. Oh, so question: if the carriers are not obviously ready to give up the sale of a phone that operates on their network, why did they announce support in the first place and then pull it?
Yeah, I have no idea. But
bizarre.
In an additional piece of the story today, as I was driving here, Google announced that they basically admitted that it didn't work.
Yeah.
And that they were going to start partnering with carriers to carry them in the store. So, but I think it's only going to be, because now that the Evo's here and the Incredible's here, a lot of people don't see a need for the Nexus One on their own network.
Yeah.
So I have a feeling it's only going to be in T-Mobile. Like you're gonna be able to walk into a T-Mobile store and buy one, but they're going to partner. So it'll just be and I agree. Like some people don't like Sense UI, and that's their choice. Like I have a couple friends who are like, I don't really know if I like it.
Yeah.
But with the Nexus One, I mean, it's just one of those things where I don't think it's going to go to Verizon, AT&T, or Sprint now because it's too late.
Right.
We have too many phones that are surpassing the Nexus One in terms of capability.
Very quickly.
Yeah,
very quickly.
like it's just not going to happen.
Yeah. Okay. So this next story, this shocked me when I saw it. I had no idea that it was this close.
Yeah.
Android passes iPhone sales in the U.S. smartphone market. So now Android's out ahead of iPhone. It's finally happened, and it didn't take that long at all. New market research from the NDP Group confirms Android phones outsold iPhone last quarter in the United States. The BlackBerry is the top with 36% market share, or 36% last quarter anyway, sales. 28%. Android has 28%, and the iPhone is now at 21%. So
it's awesome.
Stunning.
But also, to be fair, the iPhone only is one phone on one carrier.
Yeah, well, that's true. But nonetheless.
Which is, I mean, for one phone, one carrier, 21% is pretty big. But still, I mean, to pull in, 28% and to surpass the iPhone in terms of sales.
Yeah.
That's huge for Google.
It is.
And that's huge for Android in terms of people sort of kind of perking up and being like, what's this? Like, I think more people are seeing Android phones in the hands of their friends as opposed to an iPhone.
Sure.
So.
Well, I think also that, I mean, we've talked about this on other shows, the cost over time of owning an Android device is half that of owning an iPhone. So just from purely economic standpoint, even people that see other people with an iPhone, they realize they can buy an Android-based device for significantly less.
Right. Now, somebody mentioned in chat that it doesn't count iPod Touch or iPad, and that's fair.
That's true.
But I think if we're just talking about smartphones.
Yeah, that's true. But I think it's got to be phone to phone. That's the way to because there is no commensurate. Well, I guess there is a commensurate. There are commensurate Android devices, but not yet. And
I tend to agree with Android and Me, where they're asking, like, the real question now: how long can the iPhone remain an AT&T exclusive with the bad network, with 4G coming, with the Evo coming out? I mean, phones like the Evo coming out. How long is it going to take?
Well, supposedly they're under contract
for
until
5 years.
Yeah, till May. Well, to see,
it's a
5-year contract, so it ends in May of 2012.
Oh man,
yes,
that's a long time.
That's a long time.
That's like, I mean, like I always say, like in modeling, that's like your whole career is 5 years.
Yeah.
Like if you are a model, like your whole career is over in 5 years.
Yeah.
It's like from 14 to 19, and then you're an old woman.
Yes.
Nobody wants you anymore.
Well, let's hope. This AT&T deal is just, I mean, everyone hates AT&T.
Well, it's just crazy to go exclusive for that long. But then again, they were the first person really to break the smartphone barrier in terms of mainstream
probably something they had
purchasing.
to do it, yeah. So we'll never know.
Yeah.
Okay, so next story, Square brings simple mobile payments to Android. So Square is a simple payment utility for everyone.
It's awesome.
Yeah, so the idea is that basically on your smartphone, you can accept credit cards from other people, so just like cash.
Yeah.
So, and you don't, now normally when you are able to accept credit cards, you have to get a merchant account and you have to do all this finagling and setting things up and blah, blah, blah.
Annual fees and I mean, just nightmare.
It's a big nightmare. And then you have to worry about chargebacks, if the other person charges you back, then you actually not only do not get the money, but you have to pay.
because you didn't because your friend's a deadbeat.
Yeah, exactly. So it's just nuts. So this takes all that craziness out of it. And now, if you just want to pay me back with your credit card, say you borrowed $20 for lunch yesterday, and say you're like, okay, I forgot to bring some money for you. I'll just use my credit card. Now I can accept it from you.
This is really good news for anybody who has deadbeat friends. Because if your friends always go, oh, I don't have any cash with me, I can't pay you back for whatever it is that I took from your house or whatever.
I can't do that anymore.
Yeah, like my friend, I owe him money. So now he's able to like get this app and be like, well, now you don't need to pay me cash. You can just go ahead and like swipe your credit card and pay me. So, and it's really neat too, because they like when you get the app, it's the app, and then you have to pass like, I don't want to say pass a credit check, but they take your social security number to make sure that you're not like stealing someone's identity, and like, I mean, it's safe in that way. Yeah. And they provide this little dongle. It's like this big, and it's a little tiny square, and you put it in your headphone jack, and that's how you swipe cards.
I was wondering how they did that.
Yeah, and they send it to you for free. The app's free. Everything's free. And then it's called Square Up. I think you can find it at squareup.com.
Yeah.
Yep. And it's really, really neat. And I mean, if anybody wants to get something like that, I mean, I highly suggest. I mean, I think at the start you have like a limit on how much you can charge in a day, so that you're not like some crazy shyster isn't like running around swiping everybody's credit cards. But and you can email receipts to like you can either text or email a receipt to whoever it is that you took money from. Like, it's really, really neat.
Nice.
The future of...
That's great. I love this app.
I like the idea of like somebody who's an artist selling their art. They can now accept credit card payments on their iPad or on their on their Android tablet or whatever. Like,
or books.
Or whatever it is. You can sell all that stuff. It's going to be awesome. And I agree. PayPal is going to compete with this, if not buy the service. I'm going to say they're going to buy the service within 2 years.
They would be smart too.
Yeah.
So, okay. So next story: Droid does tablets. Verizon and Google collaborating on an iPad competitor.
Big news.
Yes. So Verizon Wireless CEO Lowell McAdam confirmed in an interview that they are working on an Android-powered tablet with Google. So Google and Verizon certainly have had a lucrative partnership with Android in the mobile, with Motorola Droid, for example.
Right, yeah.
So this makes a lot of sense that this would be the next place that they would go.
Right.
Now, there's no details yet regarding release date or specs or manufacturer or anything like that. But, we expect to hear more about this. I bet they're moving pretty fast. And I'll bet it supports Flash.
Yeah.
I would say that'd be a safe bet.
I'm sure if it releases anytime after July 1st, if they're going to release it, it'll have Froyo on it, native.
Yes.
So.
Yeah, that would make sense.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that, I think. I'm looking forward to what the specs are and how it's going to work. And again, like, if there's going to be some platform that goes with it.
Yeah, they'll have an iBook store in there, or they'll have Google's version of an iBook store, I would be willing to bet.
Yeah.
So. Yeah. Cool. Okay, so next story, Sprint releases Android 2.1 for the Samsung Moment.
Finally.
Yeah, this is like about time.
About time.
It's an about time story. So there's really not much more to say other than that. So.
Yeah, well, it's just so anybody, if you have a moment, like you just need, if you have a moment.
Yeah, by that you mean the phone.
If you have the phone, the Samsung Moment, just know that it is a PC only upgrade. Like, you can't get it over the air. And it will wipe your phone. So be aware of these two things before you go upload 2.1, because it goes from 1.5 to 2.1.
Now, so it blows away all your phone numbers and everything?
Wipes the phone clean.
Oh.
And Mickey wants to know, where's my Hero update? And Sprint said that they're really pushing to get that out by the end of the month. So fingers crossed.
Wow. Okay, so next story, prepare to be blown away by Froyo Android 2.2.
Yes.
So it's coming next week. Many reasons to get excited, but basically the things that we think will be in it. Major performance boost, obviously. Apps 2SD support. Flash 10.1, an updated Android market. Native tethering, which I'm excited about. And a new desktop. Google employees are keeping quiet, as they're required to. But some of them have been dropping hints. And those hints are basically, you're going to love it. It's amazing.
It's incredible, yeah. So. They had the little statue over at the Googleplex.
Yeah, so we're gonna.
It had gotten there and it was like all shrink wrapped. And TechCrunch sent one of their like reporters or one of their girls over there.
Yeah.
And she was like taking pictures of it, and then she tried to unwrap it, and security's like, "We are gonna escort you out of here if you get any pictures of what's underneath there. Like, scram!" Like, they told her just beat it. Yeah. And she hightailed it out of there, but she got some really good pictures. But then I think somebody saw it leaving wherever it was going or whatever and snapped a picture of it, and it's really cool looking.
Oh, that's cool.
It's really neat because they have all the little like sculptures. They're real tall.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
And they've got cupcake and eclair and donut and all and then now they've got froyo and it's waiting there to be unveiled. So I think they might unveil it. Yeah, they unveil it next week.